White 5 and 4, 54. Green 7 and 1, 71. Yellow 2 and 3, 23.
You're probably already very familiar with the image of a goofy English man clutching a lifeless teddy bear driving a yellow Mini and turning everything around him into a joke. Mr. Bean, a part of childhood for the whole world. And behind that rubber-like face is Rowan Atkinson, the man who has been rumored to have died and come back to life countless times on the internet. On screen, he is the fool who makes the whole world laugh. In real life, he is a true high-class player. $150 million in hand. Mansions, supercars, assets that many stars could only dream of their entire lives. But by 2026, he does not live like a rich man. No showing off, no noise, no turning that fortune into a performance for others to admire. So what is really going on behind that image? How does one of the smartest money-making minds in the entertainment industry choose to live as if money does not matter? Today we step into a story stranger than any episode of Mr. Bean. Are you ready? The man who almost chose engineering instead of becoming Mr. Bean. In 1972, at a university in Newcastle, England, a 17-year-old student was diligently studying electrical engineering. A few years later, he went on to pursue a master's degree at the prestigious University of Oxford. He was not just studying for the sake of it, nor the type of student studying to please his parents. He was genuinely talented enough to follow engineering for the rest of his life if he wanted. But then, somewhere between lectures full of equations and circuit boards, that student discovered he liked fooling around. He liked making people laugh. He liked transforming into strange characters who, with just a slight raise of one eyebrow, could make an entire room hold its breath and then burst into laughter. His name was Rowan Atkinson, the man the world would later know through the immortal role of Mr. Bean. If you ask, did Rowan have a passion for acting from childhood, then the answer is not really. His family had no artistic tradition, and his parents did not encourage him to pursue something uncertain like acting. They wanted him to study something safe, and as expected, he excelled, especially in logic engineering and electronics. But it was at Oxford, a cradle of many great writers, politicians, and artists, that Rowan began stepping into amateur theater. He did not perform for money, nor for fame, only because he could be himself. In performances, he could freely express himself without being confined by any profession. The foolish gentleman Bean in the Mr. Bean series. Rowan did not become famous immediately. After Oxford, he also hesitated should he continue as an engineer, a stable path, or pursue comedy, a journey full of uncertainty and doubt. But as if destined, Rowan happened to meet Richard Curtis, the screenwriter of the film, Pate, 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Curtis recalled their first meeting. In the first times we met, he said nothing at all. He just sat there on the chair like a stuffed animal. One day he started telling a story about shaving while driving. Rowan narrated and performed mime at the same time, without any confusion or awkwardness. I thought, this Atkinson guy is a genius. The two went on to write scripts for the film 4 Weddings and a Funeral and the television series Blackadder, the first project Rowan acted in. Around this time, Rowan also became acquainted with Howard Goodall, the composer for Blackadder and The Thin Blue Line. Rowan Atkinson truly gained attention after appearing at the Edinburgh Festival in 1976 when he was 21. Producer John Lloyd immediately sought him out backstage because he believed this young actor would become famous. Thanks to John, Rowan landed a leading role in the series The 9 O'Clock News. This was the role that turned Rowan into a star alongside Pamela Stephenson, Rhys Jones, and Mel Smith. In 1983, Rowan appeared in the sitcom he co-wrote with Richard Curtis, Blackadder. Success followed success. 2 more seasons were released in 1986 and 1987. This became one of the most successful sitcoms in BBC history. However, the work that truly made Rowan Atkinson globally famous was Mr. Bean. With the continuous development of Hollywood, countless Western TV series across genres have been produced, but few could rival the name Mr. Bean. The explanation for its success is simple. The show debuted at a time when the digital era was still in its infancy, when people were hungry for simple entertainment after exhausting hours at work. There was no need to watch in order. Each episode of Mr. Bean was a collection of short, seemingly random stories that were still easy to understand and follow. His ability to perform solo through physical action earned him the nickname, the man with the rubber face. Mr. Bean continued to be released as a film in 1997 and later became an animated series. The series was so popular that each episode averaged an estimated 18.74 million viewers across the UK. It was later adapted into an animated show and 2 feature films, Bean the Ultimate Disaster Movie, 1997, and Mr. Bean's Holiday. 2007, Mr. Bean helped Rowan Atkinson become one of the richest artists in England, with a total net worth of £70 million. Over 22 years associated with the character Mr. Bean. Rowan Atkinson not only gained fame, but also earned enormous income even after he stopped playing the role. In 2013, Rowan Atkinson received $1 million in profit from licensing revenue, totaling $11 million for the Mr. Bean series across 94 countries. In addition, he owns a production company called Hindmek. In recent years, this company has generated $16 million in income for him. Beyond a dream career, few people know that Mr. Bean is also a highly skilled real estate investor with broad vision. As of 2026, Rowan's net worth is estimated at $150 million. He owns many properties in London and around the world. Not bad at all, right? The real estate tycoon of England. His former home, the Old Rectory in Waterperry, Oxfordshire, clearly reflects Rowan Atkinson's preference for comfort, privacy, and elegance. This Grade II listed house, built in 1777, carries the classic beauty of the English countryside while still offering enough luxury for a modern lifestyle. Situated on expansive land and surrounded by quiet greenery, it feels more like a retreat than a showy mansion. Inside, the rooms are spacious, serving both relaxation and entertaining, from a large living room and dining room for gatherings to a cozy kitchen and breakfast area for more private family moments. If the Old Rectory represents traditional beauty, then Rowan Atkinson's Handsmouth House in the Chilterns, near Ipswich, Oxfordshire, reveals a completely different side of his aesthetic taste. Designed by renowned architect Richard Meyer, this house is a statement of minimalism, modernity, and precision in every line. Built primarily from glass and white steel, Handsmouth House is filled with natural light, creating a sense of openness, airiness, and calm. From inside, the living spaces overlook the rolling hills and lush greenery of the English countryside, turning each window into a serene painting. The interior of Handsmouth House also reflects Rowan Atkinson himself, refined, reserved, yet far from ordinary. The open layout allows smooth movement throughout the home, with main living areas that are spacious enough for relaxation, yet elegant enough for gatherings. Modern technology is integrated subtly, rather than displayed, while the furniture is chosen in a simple, high-end, and aesthetically deep style. Notably, the house is also believed to incorporate sustainable solutions such as geothermal heating and solar panels, showing that this is not just a luxurious residence but a carefully calculated project. In addition, Rowan Atkinson is also associated with the image of a pristine white villa, quietly sitting by the poetic coastline of England, as if completely separated from the noisy outside world. The house stands out with its all-white exterior, appearing amidst the blue of hills and sea, like a structure that is both pure and peaceful. Its design strongly emphasizes a resort-like feeling, with rooms opening toward the sea to capture sunlight, wind, and the full beauty of the surrounding landscape. The main materials of this villa are wood and stone, creating a sense of warmth while still maintaining luxury. Along the entrance, stone and wooden steps lead up to the main living space, where the interior follows a minimalist, elegant style, in harmony with the coastal garden spirit. The living room is a standout feature, with stone flooring extending seamlessly toward the pool and terrace, making indoor and outdoor spaces feel almost as one. The surrounding walls use large transparent glass panels, allowing the family to fully enjoy the beauty of the sea and sky from inside the house. The private areas of the villa continue this relaxing spirit. The bedrooms use warm tones like brown, red, and beige to create a cozy, private, and comforting atmosphere compared to the bright white exterior. The balconies are designed to be wide and open, welcoming the sky and sea breeze, while the upstairs living room features large glass doors facing directly toward the ocean, making the outside view feel like a living painting inside the home. Even the bathrooms are carefully designed like true relaxation spaces where comfort goes hand in hand with a sense of complete tranquility. Overall, the residences associated with Rowan Atkinson reveal a very interesting paradox. He does not live in a loud, showy way, but he also does not live simply in an ordinary sense. From a traditional English manor to a modern glass and steel house to a seaside retreat, everything shows that he values quietness, functionality, beauty, and privacy more than displaying wealth. Moreover, in real life, Rowan Atkinson is a man passionate about speed, the fool on screen, a high-class player in real life. He does not just like collecting supercars, he also loves immersing himself in the feeling of personally driving them at full speed on the racetrack. Rowan has owned a lineup of famous beasts such as the DB7 Vantage and the V8 Vantage, along with many expensive cars from nearly every famous car brand in the world. Unlike Mr. Bean, who only drives old little cars, Rowan in real life prefers more luxurious vehicles. In his garage, there was once an Audi A8 worth $100,000 and a rare 2002 Honda NSX valued at $130,000. This comedian also owned a memorable wine-red Mercedes-Benz SLS-AMG. The car paparazzi often photographed him driving through the streets in everyday life. This model is both elegant and extremely sporty, capable of reaching 199 miles per hour, so it is no surprise that its value was estimated at around $260,000. His passion for speed was so great that he took part in many races. Rowan once wrecked his Aston Martin V8 Zagato in 2001 at a car event. After that, he spent around $300,000 to restore the car. Today, its value is around $335,000. Some sources also claim that Atkinson once owned a Bentley Mulsanne Birkin, worth about $400,000. From his favorite brand, Rolls-Royce, the actor owned a Phantom Drophead. This car was also used by his character in the film Johnny English, and if you wanted to own a machine like that, you would need to spend around $500,000. Another car that once appeared in Rowan's garage was a BMW 328 Roadster, a classic and extremely rare model produced only from 1936 to 1940. Because it is so exclusive, it can be worth as much as $1,200,000. But the most iconic and most expensive car in Rowan's garage was the 1997 McLaren F1, a model famous for being able to reach an impressive 240 miles per hour. He even crashed this car twice, and because of that, at the time, he received an insurance payout worth $1,400,000. In 2015, this comedian decided to put the car up for auction and brought in $12,200,000. Rowan certainly was not frugal when it came to cars. Private jet. Rowan Atkinson has plenty of money to travel in greater comfort and privacy by chartering private planes instead of taking commercial flights. For example, during a vacation in 2001, the actor flew on a Cessna 202, a small single-engine propeller plane. However, that flight nearly ended in tragedy when the pilot fainted mid-flight. Rowan, despite having no experience flying a plane, still tried to keep the aircraft stable in the air while his wife woke the pilot up. Normally, someone who went through an incident like that would be traumatized to the point of never daring to take a private plane again. But every sign suggests that the actor continued chartering private flights at a cost that could reach around $10,000 per flight hour. A comfortable life after leaving his wife for a lover 30 years younger. In contrast to the silly and foolish Mr. Bean on screen, Rowan Atkinson in real life is a wealthy, famous, fun-loving gentleman with a controversial private life. He left his former wife to pursue a younger lover nearly 30 years his junior. This information once caused the Mr. Bean comedian to be criticized by public opinion, with many believing he was a cruel man for abandoning the woman who had stood by him through the hard years until the day he became famous. Rowan Atkinson once had an admirable marriage with his first wife, makeup artist Sunitra Sastry. The couple lived together for 20 years and had 2 children, 1 son and 1 daughter. Rowan Atkinson's daughter is beautiful and also followed in her father's footsteps by pursuing acting. However, in 2014, Rowan and his first wife's seemingly perfect home suddenly collapsed when the British comedian's affair was reported in the media. 1 year after separating, Rowan Atkinson and his wife confirmed their divorce. According to the media, Sunitra took the initiative to file for divorce on the grounds of unreasonable behavior. Because the actor was absent from court, the divorce hearing ended quickly. The judge ordered a fast procedure, and the couple were declared no longer legally husband and wife in just 1 minute. When they divorced, Rowan Atkinson left the £11 million mansion in Chelsea, West London, where they had lived together, to his former wife and their children. He moved out to live separately with his young girlfriend Louise Ford in another apartment worth £4 million. Not long after that, he also quickly went public with his relationship with the younger woman actress Louise Ford. The two fell for each other while appearing together in the play Quatermain's Terms in 2013. Louise Ford's youthful beauty made the actor fall deeply for her, determined to leave his wife despite the criticism in order to chase after his younger lover. In 2017, Mr. Bean and his young partner welcomed a baby daughter named Isla when he was already 62 years old. After that, the actor spent several years at home taking care of the child and supporting his younger partner's career. Speaking about that period of staying home to care for his child, Rowan said he was very excited. He revealed that his little daughter is a very mischievous and energetic girl. Because of that, he gave her the nickname Baby Bean at home. After a long period of resting to take care of his family, Rowan Atkinson recently returned to acting. In late November 2025, the British star appeared on the set of Man vs. Baby. The film revolves around the humorous battle between a man and a baby during the Christmas holiday season. The complaint that shocked Britain. If you only know Rowan Atkinson through Mr. Bean, it is very easy to think of him as a man almost immune to controversy. That face is associated with clumsiness, foolishness, and harmlessness. To many viewers, he is the kind of artist who steps onto the screen to make people laugh, and then quietly walks away without noise, without belonging to the kind of star who always drags trouble behind him. But that image once shifted in a rather unusual incident. Not because of an affair, not because of money, not because of wrongdoing in real life, but simply because of a comedy sketch on television. This incident was tied to Comic Relief, a very familiar charity program in Britain, where comedy is often used to attract attention and support fundraising. In one sketch on the show, Rowan Atkinson appeared as a fictional Archbishop of Canterbury. This was not just any ordinary title, but a religious position with major symbolic meaning in British public life. When a figure like that is placed inside a satirical comedy frame, the reaction is almost certain not to be simple. Part of the audience saw it as a joke that went too far, especially when the subject being mocked was tied to faith and sacred dignity. As a result, the BBC received nearly 2,500 complaints. That number was large enough to turn a segment meant only to be funny into a public controversy. What makes this case worth talking about is that it did not explode in the way social media scandals do, where one shocking statement bursts into flames for a few days. It had a very British quality, quieter, but also more complicated. One side argued that this was simply part of the long tradition of satire on British television, where the right to joke about power ritual and public symbols has always been seen as legitimate in comedy. The other side did not focus much on the right to joke, but on the boundaries of respect. To them, when a major broadcaster like the BBC airs a sketch like that, the issue no longer stops with Rowan Atkinson as an individual. It becomes a larger question: how far is public comedy allowed to go when its target is an important religious symbol? That is exactly what made this incident a real collision between the right to satirize and the feeling of being offended. The BBC responded fairly quickly. They apologized, then removed the sketch from iPlayer. When content that has already aired is taken down, that action itself sends a clear signal this has become an image problem. For Rowan Atkinson, the situation was unusual. He was not turned into a villain, his career was not frozen, and he did not fall into a public crisis. But he also was not standing outside the wave. His name was directly tied to the sketch, so it became tied as well to the debate over whether he had deliberately crossed a line or was simply doing the kind of satirical comedy he has long believed needs to be protected. What makes the story even more interesting is Ofcom's conclusion afterward. The agency found that the sketch did not violate broadcasting rules. That detail made the entire case far more complicated than a simple scandal of clear right and wrong. The BBC apologized and removed the content, so many people naturally thought the sketch had definitely crossed the line. But when Ofcom concluded there was no violation, the story immediately shifted. It showed that there is a difference between three levels of reaction: what the public feels uncomfortable with, what a broadcaster feels it needs to handle in order to reduce pressure, and what a regulator considers an actual violation. Those three levels do not match. So calling this a case of Rowan Atkinson insulting religion in an absolute sense is too simplistic. More accurately, this is a clear example of how a sketch can be seen as excessive on a social level, while still not reaching the threshold of a regulatory violation. If viewed through the lens of Atkinson's career, this was a scratch, not a fall. The public did not broadly turn its back on him. His projects did not disappear because of this incident. But it still matters because it exposed another side of Rowan Atkinson that the Mr. Bean shell often hides. He is not an artist who only knows how to act foolish so everyone can laugh comfortably. He has long been someone who believes quite strongly in the right to satirize and the right to make people uncomfortable in art. When you place the comic relief incident beside the times he has spoken out about free speech, you can see that this was not exactly an out-of-character accident. The only difference is that this time, instead of making audiences laugh at clumsiness, and he made them argue about the limits of laughter. And that is exactly why this incident is still worth remembering as one of the rare but very real controversies surrounding Rowan Atkinson's image. Meaningful charitable work. Rowan Atkinson's life is not just a stretch of time spent passing across the stage or appearing in front of a camera. It is a journey that makes people look again, where he combines a God-given instinct for comedy with a sharp mind to create a legacy far beyond an ordinary role. What makes him admirable is not just the laughter, but the way he moves through social friction with clarity and intelligence, then leaves a deep impact on the cultural stories of the time. That very blend created a Rowan Atkinson completely unlike the foolish image on screen, deeper, sharper, and far heavier. Experts and international media have long regarded him as one of the great comedy icons of the late 20th century. As the years have passed, even now that he is nearing 70, that actor has never truly left the arts and still makes people remember that he was never yesterday's man. From his own life and experience, Rowan Atkinson once gave young artists a reminder that sounds simple but carries real weight. How each new day arrives and how it ends is our choice. Either we do the very best at what we are doing and get a good night's sleep, or we can let a day pass with dreams that remain only dreams. There are only those two choices, no other. Whichever one you choose, time will still pass. Away from the spotlight, Atkinson lives a life that is anything but dull, marked by an almost obsessive love of cars, enthusiasm for charitable initiatives, and a lasting commitment to protecting the environment. Rowan Atkinson's charitable work, especially his contributions to UNICEF during periods of global crisis has helped make him a visible figure in mobilizing resources and raising awareness of urgent humanitarian needs. He has not stopped at simply giving money. Atkinson has also taken an active role in advocacy, appeared in public campaigns, and used the pull of his own name to draw attention to serious issues weighing on the lives of children in many parts of the world. That shows he does not use fame as a glossy outer coat, but as a real tool to create positive and meaningful change. Beyond charity work, Atkinson has also shown concern for environmental causes. He has emphasized the importance of conservation and sustainable development while supporting initiatives that promote renewable energy and reduce carbon footprints. His choice to drive a BMW i3 model, known for its environmentally friendly direction, has been seen as proof of that personal commitment. It shows that his lifestyle is not completely separate from the things he supports in public. The way Atkinson approaches charity and social issues also reflects exactly who he is in his professional life. When he does something, he does it seriously. From standing up for children's rights, supporting disaster relief efforts, to encouraging environmental protection work, he consistently shows a deep belief in humanity's ability to create positive impact. His work with the Prince's Trust is one example of how Rowan Atkinson uses his position for social good. That involvement shows he believes in the value of mentorship, training, and financial support as tools that can change the lives of young people trapped in hardship. In that role, he does not come across as a star showing up to give a speech for appearances, but as someone who truly believes that the right opportunity at the right time can change an entire Sudba. Not stopping at charitable or environmental work, Atkinson has also regularly expressed clear views on free speech and taken part in debates surrounding political correctness and cancel culture. Those positions have at times divided public opinion, but they also show that he is someone willing to step into zones of conflict instead of standing outside them to stay safe. They reflect his concern about the way public conversation is changing in the digital age, while also showing that he worries. The right to speak plainly, the right to debate, and the right to disagree may be squeezed out. The overlap between his public image and his private life makes Atkinson's story not only compelling, but lasting in its effect. It shows that a person can use fame and talent to send more into the world than laughter alone. Rowan Atkinson's life, therefore, leaves behind not only humorous moments, but also a lesson in endurance, adaptability, and the desire to contribute to society. Thank you for staying with us all the way through Rowan Atkinson's story. If you enjoyed this content, please hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss other fascinating stories.
We might talk about some public figures, companies, or social events today, but please note that we are just exploring these topics. Nothing said should be taken as a personal accusation or a judgment. Who should we cover next? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to join our community and stay updated on all things Hollywood. Catch you in the next episode.